Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Lalit Rao. Thank you very much for watching Philosophy Network channel on YouTube. In this new video about Indian philosophy, I am going to speak to you about the Nyaya System. One of the most serious charges leveled against Indian philosophy concerns religious authority as its basis and it not being critical. It is considered to be dogmatic. The Nyaya philosophy is a permanent repudiation of this charge as it makes effective use of methodology and theory of knowledge to construct its philosophy. It is a unique philosophical system which is primarily concerned with the conditions of correct thinking and the means of acquiring a true knowledge of reality. The essence of Nyaya philosophy can be summed up into four sections, namely its theory of knowledge, the theory of the physical world, the theory of the individual self, the theory of God. Nyaya philosophy is a philosophy of life as like other schools of Indian philosophy. Its ultimate end is liberation, which refers to the absolute cessation of pain and suffering. It was the great sage Gautama who established Nyaya philosophy. It is a realistic philosophy characterized by logical grounds. It holds that there are four separate sources of true knowledge, namely perception, Pratyaksha. It is the direct knowledge of objects produced by their relation to our senses. A perception could be external, bahya, or internal, antara, as the sense concerned is external, such as an eye, or internal, like the mind. Inference, Anumana. It is the true knowledge of objects through the apprehension of some mark, Linga. The mark is related to the objects inferred, Sadhya. According to Anumana, there are at least three propositions and three terms, namely a minor term, a middle term, and a major term. Comparison, Upamana. It is the knowledge of the relation between a name and things named on the basis of a given description of their familiarity to some familiar object. Testimony, Sabda. As a form of knowledge, verbal testimony is anything which is derived from the statements of persons of authority. Several arguments have been put forward by the Nyaya school as the basis of its theology. It proves the existence of God by holding God as the ultimate cause of creation, destruction, and maintenance of the world. God wasn't created out of nothing, but out of eternal atoms, space, time, ether, minds, and souls. The creation of the world has been explained as a process through which individual souls, Jivas, might enjoy pleasure or suffer pain based on the merits and demerits of their actions in other lives and other worlds. The focus is on Karta, Creator, as the most popular argument for God's existence, states that all things of the world, like mountains and seas, the sun and the moon, are effects as they are made up of parts. It is for this reason why they must have a maker, a Karta, a creator. This argument adds that individual selves cannot be creator or maker of the world as they are limited in knowledge and power. It is the limitation which prevents them to deal with subtle and imperceptible entities such as atoms, of which all physical things are composed. Nyaya philosophy lists different components as the objects of knowledge. They are the self, the body, the senses and their objects, cognition, buddhi, mind, manas, activity, pravritti, mental defects, dosha, rebirth, pratyabhava, the feelings of pleasure and pain, phala, suffering, dukkha, and freedom from suffering, Apavarga. Like other systems of Indian philosophy, the Nyaya system attempts to deliver the self from its bondage of the body, the senses and their objects. This leads its practitioners to claim that the self is distinct from the body and the mind. Lastly, according to Nyaya School of Indian Philosophy, consciousness is not viewed as an essential quality of the self. It has been described as an accidental or unplanned quality which ceases to qualify the self in the state of mukti or liberation. Liberation, Apavarga, refers to the absolute cessation of all pain and suffering brought about by the right knowledge of reality, tattva, jnana. Thank you very much for having watched this video.